Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach Philip Veal.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome, ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House.
There
Packed
they
football
are.
Show. Just a little late. Not bad,
Hey,
though.
for
some
all the
issues.
different days that we're playing
I
and
know.
on radio, we're lucky we're here at all.
I knew I should have texted Aaron about noon today to tell him, hey, remember today is a show day.
And then next week is next Thursday, so remember that.
I'm going to blame Ben.
I think it was Ben's fault.
Ben's the coordinator. He's the sports information director. He's supposed to get the information out.
I got the information.
Yeah,
so
I can't. We all got it.
I can't blame Ben for that.
We all showed up. We got two guests tonight. We got Andrew Cook and Peyton Shaw. Say hi to hey everybody. Say hi to our guests here. There you go. All right. Andrew Cook off of witness protection.
Yeah. And P. Shaw, I was lobbying for you before you got here because I know you were a two-way player.
Yes, sir.
And you're kind of dinged up in the running back room.
Yes, sir.
He wasn't going for it.
Yeah, Cookie, just want you to know you were the number one topic last week amongst people texting us before the show. What happened to Cook? Where's Cookie at?
Well, it takes a little bit to get warmed up. It takes a little bit to get warmed up, but I had an opportunity to show what I could do last Thursday, and I feel like I took that opportunity to heart, and it was a good first game to come back and play full time and be myself again.
Yeah, it was fun watching you there. Well, Phil, tough one, man. I mean, the number one thing I had coming out of the ball game, it's a tough loss, but it kind of took away from what a fabulous football matchup it was in the early season between two Division II powerhouses. I mean, that was a great game.
Yeah. I mean, it was. Obviously, did not end the way we wanted it to. Felt like, being completely honest, we were the better team and felt like we did way too much to give them an opportunity to stay in that game and ultimately win that game, And when you're playing really good teams, you can't – I think, the issues that I saw, obviously the kicking game was not good. You got to improve, point after attempts have to be automatic, especially for our team. A failed 2-point conversion, which we were 7 of 8 as of now in 2-point conversions. And then, critical penalties on third downs defensively.
One entire drive.
That kept them going and ultimately led to scores, and then, you have things that don't normally happen. You have the bad snap on a field goal for them, and the guy picks it up and runs to the right and throws it all the way back across the left for a touchdown to end the half. And so just, there's just some things that happen in that game that don't usually happen in most football games. And good teams find a way, and they found a way. And we, to be honest with you, I felt like we gave it to them.
Yeah, a lot of ways you can look back on that ball game. Just, your predecessor always talked about 6 plays in the game. I thought there was probably about 10 plays, and a number of them were penalties. But, your offensive line's been playing brilliantly all year, but one breakdown leads to a disaster, a sack and the fumble and their drive. You have a defensive back kind of fall down, right? Right on the pass that
K-Dot
to the tight end.
Yeah.
And that was a play that, man, should it have happened at just
little
little plays
picked,
like that? Yeah.
Honestly, if he doesn't fall down.
And then the scramble play around the right side where everything broke down, you ended up getting a little penalty, and then they hit you for a 55-yard play or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the plays I look back in the game and man, those little plays like that just kind of killed you.
Yeah, and again, like you look at those plays in games like that, and it always comes down to a few, and that's the difference in tight ball games like that is, and I just felt like we didn't, in all 3 facets, didn't play to our standard, and credit to Coach Brown and Fort Hays State, and I'm not trying to take anything away from that team and what they do. I have a lot of respect for them, and just really believe in our team, and we weren't the best team that day.
Well, and their quarterback showed the way he can improvise on a number of plays. That one drive, he got 4 scrambles and all of them were for first downs, it seemed like. And one of them was on the ground laying there, 2 of them on the ground, and the one he picked up. And he just made the decision, well, I'll just go right because the play, everything was going left. Everybody's flowing that way, and he just picks up and runs right and gets first down. That could have been a sack for a huge loss, but at fourth down, who knows? They kick a field goal from 50 yards, and just a lot of things had to go right for them, and they all did.
They did. Yeah, they did. And even with that said, I think obviously we still had our chances, and they go down and honestly, I thought they made a mistake by scoring so early.
Right.
And
well, we even broached it. I said on the air, I go, man, the best thing,
Yeah,
just let him score.
well, we were talking on the headset,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, because I only had one timeout left.
Right.
And there was under 2 minutes in the game, and they'd just gotten a first down. And I was talking to Coach Foskey. I said, if they don't, we're about to let them score here, and just let them score, and give us an opportunity to go back down and tie it. And they go down, they score to their credit, and we had a minute 43 or whatever it was left in the game, and go into the locker room for the weather delay. And I told the team, I said, hey, we're going to go down and score. We're going to kick a PAT. We're going to take this thing into overtime. We're at home. We're the better team. We're going to win this thing in overtime. And I was almost right.
You were near perfect in your prediction. Now, any thought of going for 2?
I don't.
We debated it.
Yeah, I don't think so. And the reason I say that is just, I felt like at home, felt like I didn't really feel like we could be, they weren't doing a ton to stop our offense. And I just felt like over time that was going to win, and, obviously hindsight's always 20/20, and you wish you could go back and make that change. But even if we could, I don't know if I would.
You'd still kick it. You just make
kick
the PAT.
Exactly, because even the first one that we missed, it wasn't our kicker's fault. The snap was bad, and it was on the hip of our holder, and got it down late, and that was the issue on that one, and so I still felt confident. We had hit a 42-yard field goal already in the game, felt confident in our kicker and our special teams unit, and it didn't work out.
And then when you went for 2, like you mentioned, 7 for 7 on those weird plays like that, always seemed to work for you. So there wasn't a thought, well, do I chase the points here? I guess that's the ultimate thing a coach has to go, do I chase them right here? Or do I just go ahead and play you had to play, obviously, because you ran a little different. I don't think we've seen that version of what you've done.
It's a different formation there. And honestly, too, we moved the ball pretty easily those first 2 drives.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And really the
entire
last 2
first
drives.
half. Yeah.
The entire first half outside of right before the half, we scored on every possession we had offensively. And so
and then the other play, I guess you look at it, you're 4th and 3. But I thought the play that messed up that whole drive was getting the penalty on the kickoff return, those extra 15 yards. Then you might have a decision.
Oh, I turned it in too, because that was a bad call. And I'll just say it.
So if you have those 15 extra yards, then you can decide, well, at this point in the game, do you kick the field goal from 37, or because that's basically where it would have been, because I think you had 4th and 3 from the 36. You can take but who knows what play calls? You're before the horse, but it's still that puts you behind on that drive. Just had to make an extra play or 2. Mm-hmm. And then talk about the 4th down and 3 call. I mean, to the naked eye live, it looked like interference. We went to the replay, and I mean, he's there just that much early, but is it enough to get a game-changing call? So we kind of gave him a pass on that. But I mean, that's another play that was just right there.
Yeah, and the other thing too with that is that we called a play initially. We had great leverage, and then we adjusted our formation before the snap, and we took away our great leverage by doing that. And if we would have stayed wider, we would have had great leverage on the corner. We would have been able to throw the out right now and complete that thing on 4th and 3 and keep that thing rolling. But again,
so that change come from the line of scrimmage or from the play call?
No, it was just he just adjusted his formation.
Oh, okay.
His alignment, and that's again, like, you could point to a bunch of different things throughout the game that when you lose by 1 point are magnified, and it wasn't any one play that was broke the camel's back by any means. There's a bunch of little plays that add up to big things when you're playing good football teams.
Well, then, of course, Joe, the first drive or the second drive they had, when you had them stopped 3 different times, and penalties kept the drive alive, and they
on third down
of it. Yeah,
on third down.
That's just life. You give a team like that hope. You want to break their will and take their hope away, and you had done that. I mean, several times in that game, and then they just kept hanging around. But you knew they would.
Yep.
because you knew that staff and
Well,
you knew that quality of program.
It was like a playoff game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we talked about, as a team going into it. There's playoff implications, regional playoff implications, just like there are this week, and when you play really good football teams, the little things, the little details can hurt you, and that was one that hurt us. And so, I challenge our staff, I challenge our leadership council. Both these guys are on our leadership council. And I just said, hey, on Sunday, I said, when we come to staff meeting, I want to know what went wrong, why it went wrong, how can we fix that in you first as a position coach or coordinator, and how do we fix it in practice? Because we can talk about all the right things, but really, unless we're doing it in practice and making changes in practice and making sure that we're addressing these issues, then it's not going to change. And so we've had a great week of practice. We really have. We've implemented some new things this week that I think have been to our benefit. And I think it will show on Thursday.
How is the room for you guys? I mean, Saturday night gut punch, Sunday you got to get ready because it's a short week, strange week. How is the How is the game? How is the room for you?
Very confident.
Okay.
Honestly, we're very confident right now. I feel like when we came back in for our first meeting after the loss, Coach V Hill brought it to our attention. He brought out the truth. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the truth hurts, but we needed the truth to regroup, to refocus, to come back as a squad and as a unit to really, handle what we had to handle this week.
And did you feel that everybody absorbed that? Everybody believes in that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. And I feel like we also had a meeting just with our group, just with the defensive backs in my group.
Right.
We had a meeting and we all told each other face to face, hey, this is what you did wrong. You cannot do that again. And we all went in a circle. What did each of us do wrong? And everybody had to take it and we had to move on from it. We had to get better from that.
How about you, Cookie?
Two things I want to steal from P is confidence. We're going to go into this game as confident as ever. I think that last game wasn't fully up to our standards, but we saw flashes of our standard. And using this week of preparation, seeing how they play, it's given us confidence. And along with what P said as well, we put that game to bed. We put that game behind us. We're looking forward now. Like I said, we're confident and we know what to do. We know the mistakes that we made. We know how to fix those. And I think that's one of the biggest things that our unit had to do is with those mistakes. We saw them and we attacked those. We attacked the mistakes that we made and we got better from it.
Is it easier as a player to look in the mirror and know that the image looking back at you is responsible? I mean, it was all the other noise. You just made mistakes. Is it easier to know that if I fix the guy in the mirror, we're going to be okay?
Absolutely. I 100% agree. As long as you can identify mistakes, you're always going to be able to improve. If you don't identify mistakes, you're going to stay baseline the whole time. But our goal is not to stay baseline. Our goal is to keep climbing that mountain. I think that's what we're going to do every single week.
You really have two options of when failure happens is you either stay the same or you learn from it, and you can. I told him in the meeting, I'm going to tell you the truth, and you can internalize it and reject it, or you can internalize it and get better. And ultimately, like it falls on me, it falls on our staff, to make sure that we're putting ourselves in great positions to win those games. And in the past we came up short on Thursday, and I know we have the right people here. I know we have the right staff here. I know we have enough talent that it's really about us executing and playing to our standard and doing it together. And if we do that, we can play with anybody. I really believe that, and I know these guys do too. So it's been good. You hate to lose and learn from that way. You'd rather win from
rather
Learn a lesson and still get a W.
Yeah. But that's not life always, and sometimes it's going to take something like that to hit you in the face that will hopefully wake you up and get you guys going in the right direction. And like I said earlier, we've had a great week of prep. We've had a great 2-3 practices now, and we had to realistically because they've had an extra week on us.
Right.
They've had a bye this last week, and so they've have an extra 4 or 5 practices on us that we don't get on them. And so we're going to have to be ready to roll, and we're going to have to make sure that we understand what they're doing and how they're doing it so we can go out there and just play fast.
Let me just commend Joe Cervi going all Michael Jackson on us. taking a look at the man in the mirror.
The man in the mirror.
Yeah.
Hey,
all right.
Pop music, baby.
There you go. Exactly. We are at ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. Pack Football Show brought to you by Rustler Implement, one of our title sponsors. Get on out to the Mason, visit them there, or in Rocky Ford, proud sponsor of Pack Athletics. We are at ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. We got some specials tonight. Usually they have $10 hamburgers, I think.
I don't know what tonight is.
I think anytime there's a Pack Football Show, you can get a $10 hamburger.
Oh, there
Come
you go.
on down. We got Monday Night Football, so they got drink specials as well. So
There's
you come out
Vikings.
here and watch the show here and then watch the show on television. Looks like 0-0 early on in the first quarter. All right, so we'll come back. We'll talk more about this week's game, plus look forward to our matchup with Central Missouri. First time the Thunderwolves have played Central Missouri in this rendition. Probably the first time ever. Or they played them once and back in the, way back in when they were in the Great Plains deal. All right, ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House Pack Football Show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach Philip Veal.
And welcome back. ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House Pack Football Show. Brought to you this year by the Colorado Front Range Roofing Company, Jim Sprague. Call them the Front Rangers. They sponsor sacks during the ball game as well. That is also sponsoring the Pack Football Show. And I just got a text from our buddy Ken. He's down there in Mersey. He's going to be in the game. Ken Franick, he's checking in. The last time the Thunderwolves played Central Missouri was in 1983, and they beat the old USC Indians at Dutch Clark Stadium.
Wow.
34-9 was the final.
That was my senior year in high school.
So we need to avenge for that. 1983.
82
was the playoff year, so 83 was the year after.
I was born in 85.
Yeah, I graduated in 84, so that fall of 83, which that game score was from, that was my senior year in high school. I don't think I went to that game.
Born in 85, so you're in the 40s now.
I just turned 40 this summer.
It's all downhill.
We're just getting
all
started.
the different pains.
To come, man.
Cookie's almost as old as you.
Yeah.
You know what I get last night?
I'm calling you the Dominic Finney of.
You know what? There are people that are older than me on this team.
Yeah.
Just they haven't been on this team.
The Dominic Feeney.
Oh,
what do you think about that, Coach?
Oh, that's
I never saw anybody
to
with
be in that same conversation.
more eligibility than Dominic.
Well, I get the notice last night on my YouTube channel. It says that the first video that came up, things a 64-year-old should know that are irreversible. I go, well, I'm not there yet. I got another month or 2 months actually.
That's close enough.
But the 2 months, it's 64. It's over.
Yeah,
I'm just done.
I saw a meme that says if you know what this is, you're reading it with cheaters on. That's how old it was.
The way I look at it, I'm just 1 year closer to shooting my age. Did shoot one under Sunday at the Desert Hawk.
I got to live
71.
to be 89 to shoot my age.
Yeah, well, we'll give it a shot.
You're shooting 89 at 89. That's pretty good.
Right?
Playing somewhere Friday. I think I'm playing at the DU's golf course on Friday. After we get back, Ben's got to drop me off to find my car somewhere, and then I'm going to head on over, and we'll be at
You're not going to ride with Ben?
well, no.
To his car.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
to the car, and then from the airport to my car, and out, and then on the airplane somewhere. All right. Don't have questions yet. This is our question segment's coming up. But
Yeah.
let's go back. We got anything, Joe? What do you want to talk about this
I just
game?
want to talk, we talked to Coach, it was no secret last year that CSU Pueblo, and we touched on it in the first segment, the penalties. That's what I got a lot of today. I was
Right.
at Rotary today, and the penalties came up. And obviously that's something you address, but how do you change that trend?
Yeah, I think that's one of the questions that I brought to our staff, because we pay for penalties after every single game. We do what we call not our standards. We did 105 up downs as a team on Friday, day after the game. And so we pay for them that way. If players get unsportsmanlike after the penalty or after the play, they get what we call breakfast club, which you don't want breakfast club. It's terrible. You get back-to-back those in the game, then you're going to miss playing time. It's just you're going to sit out for a certain amount of time. But I think, again, it comes down to practice and how do you fix it in practice. And so the big one for us on Thursday was defensive offsides.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been using a freeze cadence with our scout offense pretty much every other play or every third play, or just really emphasizing during practice to watch the ball. And so that's one of the ways that you look at implementing things. But obviously, there's things that we do during practice as well when guys mess up that they pay for it.
Well, let me ask Peyton about this a little bit more defensively, and I touched on this on the air. After about the sixth penalty, and everybody in the stands knows there's penalties, and we're talking about it, and they're getting first downs and they're scoring touchdowns, and you guys know you can't do that anymore. Does it take away your edge?
No, sir. No, sir. It doesn't. I honestly, it just comes down to how disciplined are you going to be this play right here. And so what we worked on is being more locked in on this certain play. This play right here. Don't worry about what happened last play. Don't worry about what's going to happen to play next. Worry about this play right here. Let's be disciplined right here, right now. Then when that next play happens, okay, let's be disciplined right here, right now. And I feel like by us doing that, it is, what I'm saying, helping us
Sure.
reduce the flags.
Yeah, that game had to be the ultimate frustration for a defender. When you look like you got the play shut down, you got it contained, and then you got a quarterback able to just kind of spin out of it and improvise.
Well, we have this thing called a scramble rule, and so when we're either in a coverage or a man type of thing, when the quarterback gets out the pocket, we have to find the intended receiver, the most closest receiver to you, and we have to lock on and stick on with that. And so we don't worry about what the D line can or can't do. We just worry about our job and what we can to help everybody else on the field.
I suppose on special teams, Phil, it's that guy on the end got caught watching, didn't he? Instead of then the tight end able to leak out there. That's that's kind of natural instinct in it, but that's something you got to account for.
It's all something that we literally practice it twice a week and win 3 practices. And who you're covering and who you're responsible for, and again, it's a lack of focus, which that's what I don't view it as like a lack of discipline. I know we're a disciplined football team. I view it as a lack of focus. It's not. It's like there's a couple times these guys are so anxious to make a play that their lack of focus on the ball, and to Hayes' credit, their snap count's different. Most everybody in the country they snap the ball and clap. Well, Hayes claps
and then looks around,
and then they do an audible snap count, and so it was different for them. It's very similar to what Central Missouri is going to do this week. They're going to clap to get set, and the quarterback's going to do something weird with his arms to try to get you to draw off sides, and then they're going to give an audible cadence. And so it's just working through those things and making sure that we're like P was saying, present. And locked in on this moment and time and elite focus.
Let me ask you something about that, because there's always been that talk. It used to be the head bob. Remember Elway, his head bob and simulating a step. Isn't clapping your hand in history, isn't that kind of simulating a snap? Are we getting that in the weeds here a little bit? Or?
I mean, I don't think that they'll
how do you
ever
legislate against that? Right, yeah.
So I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's look at something positive from the game.
Okay.
Roman Fuller played out of his mind. I mean, this guy shows every week, every game, the next throw is always better than the last one, it seems like. I mean, this guy can make every throw you need.
Yeah, he played fantastic, and we were really worried about their defensive line, and so we really challenged our offensive line this last week, to give him the opportunity to operate. And they did a really good job on Thursday. I mean, yes, I know we gave up a strip sack fumble, but Roman looked comfortable all night long. And that's a credit to those guys up front. I think Coach Dodge did an unbelievable job again of calling a great game, keeping their defense off balance and putting our playmakers in position to go make plays and moving Reggie around and some of these other guys to put them in positions where they're not normally are, and so keeping the defense guessing. And again, I thought our receivers played fantastic. Cookie played fantastic. Marcellus played fantastic. Excited about his future and what he's going to be able to provide to us. Bryce Boyd got in the game, and I think he had 46 snaps, and he was an immediate impact guy for us. And so there's a lot there that was really good. And I think the thing that I was so proud of, one of our keys of victory last week was staying on time, and that was Roman staying on time with his throws, going through his progression. It's our receivers making sure that we're getting to the right spots. It's our offensive line giving him the time to be able to do so. And I thought we did that. Even when things were not where they needed to be, he was finding his check down. And
Well, I even said on the air, when on the strip sack of Roman, he was probably the most surprised person in the stadium because he hadn't been touched or pressured the entire game, and it came from the backside.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you've had such great protection the entire game that you were like surprised that somebody was there.
Yep. Yeah. And again, obviously, it's a team sport. You know what I mean? And we win and we lose as a team, and there's going to be nights that the offense is going to be clicking, and there's going to be nights when the defense is going to be clicking. And I want them when all of them are clicking,
Right.
at the same click and going in the right direction. I know we will be, and I know we have the right staff. I know we have the right people in this building to be able to make sure that we're doing that.
Well, your depth showing as well. Musa came into the ball game, and man, that guy can run.
He can.
He runs hard. He's not afraid to. He almost like he seeks contact, but somehow avoids it, and he just loves sprinting, doesn't he?
Well, he
likes to get going.
He's Mr. Productive. Like he finds a way. He has got great vision. He understands the concepts, the run concepts, and he sticks to his reads, and he finds a way to be productive. And so, really proud of him. He's done a really good job this summer of putting on really good weight. He's gained about 15 pounds this summer, and has done a really good job of doing that, and it's showing. Back-to-back weeks where he's had big runs.
Well, defensively, when you look back on the game, is it one of those games on your defense week before a shutout, a little different animal playing Fort Hays, but what was your overall grade of the defense? What did you think there was things that you kind of let slip in that game?
Well, I think, we already talked about the penalties on third down. I think that was a big one. I didn't think we tackled very well.
That happens at any level. You see a penalty, it inevitably leads to a drive, doesn't it, at all levels.
Yeah.
You give that team that first down, and all of a sudden it's like the chains are off.
Yeah. They break the threshold. I don't know what it's about, but it's the same thing with us. We talk about getting that first down is so crucial for our offense, and when we're able to, we roll.
Just go.
We just go. And so I didn't think we tackled very well. I felt like we were a little discombobulated throughout the night. And I think, if I'm being honest with you, I think we were overthinking some things. We had a player that was on our team last year that was on their team, defensive player. And so, we were doing some different things from a play call standpoint that I think caused a little bit of confusion to try to hide some of our signals and things of that nature. And so, I think we got some of that stuff cleaned up, and I know we did, and we'll be better.
All right. We are at the ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House Pack Football Show, brought to you by Rustler Implement out there on the Mesa, also in Rocky Ford. Anytime you need an implement, Joe, go out there. This is implement season,
It is, and when we travel in RMAC, we see really cool implements. We're like, what does that thing do? And then you drive another 10 miles along a farm, you go, oh, that's what that does. So Barton and the guys, they have lots of implements.
Yes, they do.
I just thought they were tractor parts, but they're called implements.
Yeah, when you drive out there and kind of look and say, man, I'd like to have just.
What does that do?
I'd like to try that out. Just try
fun,
to go dig some things up and destroy some stuff.
The new ones now, too, like they're all GPS, and so it's like you set the coordinates and you just sit back and relax in the AC,
watch a game.
That's all right. I like that.
You just go up and down. It's a self-driving implement. Self-driving implement.
It is.
I need that for my sprinkler system.
Now they're about $500 million or whatever.
Right?
Well, I don't have that. Okay, I'll still use the shovel.
Yeah, there's that.
Shovel there. That's cheap. I'm cheap labor. All right. Come back after this timeout. We are at ThunderZone Pizza Tap House. We got burger specials tonight. I see. Looks like a sausage sandwich over there. Looks phenomenal. And I like the drinks as well. So come on down, watch the football game, plus join us after the show. ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House Pack Football Show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
This is the Pack Football Show on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head over to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap with your hosts, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi, along with Thunderwolves head coach, Philip Vigil.
And welcome back, ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House. Yes.
Hey, let's give it up to the people who come for
everyone.
They're
coach's
here all
show.
the time.
They're here. All the Rock's in the house. Carol and Mark, they're all in the house tonight.
Let's
And it doesn't matter what night. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're here.
They find a way, don't they?
That's awesome.
Yes, they do.
find
That's
a
what
way
makes
to
Pueblo
make it.
special.
It's the charismatic, dulcet tones of Phil Vigil.
Yes,
I don't know
right.
about that.
Pack Football Show brought to you by
all the credit. Coach.
Colorado Front Range Roofing, new sponsor this year of the Pack Football Show. We thank them for joining us, helping this show be produced and made possible. We got some questions for you, Phil. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Well, first of all, my sister chiming in, she says, wait till you look 60 in the face, little brother. She's about 2 weeks away from 70. So, okay, Susie. Thanks for listening. Susie there in Hoffman Estates in Illinois.
Cookies from
Bears.
Illinois.
Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that where the Simpsons?
That's the capital, isn't it?
That is the capital of Illinois. A lot of
The
people
land of
mistake
Lincoln.
that for Chicago, but it's not. It's Springfield.
Yeah, Springfield's. Yeah. All right. It's our geography lesson for the night.
Springfield's, yeah.
Well, we're going to be close
Shaw's
to.
from Texas, so that's just a
Yeah.
big state.
Yeah, Dallas.
You know,
Dallas area.
Yes,
I
sir.
hear
Yes,
the
sir.
word Springfield, and I have to
Simpsons.
take a moment.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of Springfield, Missouri. That's where my girlfriend went to college. When she left to go to school, and a month later, she Dear John me.
Dear Jim Jew.
Well, she went to a religious school there in Springfield, Missouri, because they're all over the place, and she realized that I wasn't right.
You weren't her calling.
I wasn't right.
You weren't her calling.
No, and she marries the next guy, and he was then to being the choir director at the church. So
That definitely wasn't
that's
you.
definitely opposite of me. I could direct some music, but not the choir. So I hear Springfield Cookie, and I flash back to 1981. Bad year for Mr.
That's
Brooks.
before your parents were born. So
All right. Okay, Mr. Franick down there in Missouri. He's looking forward. He's going to be there. Wants to know what the travel itinerary is. What you going to do? You going to go halfway tomorrow and then practice on the side of the road like Risk used to do up in Wyoming? Or
No, he didn't.
no? Well,
it was
the white
a
spot
high
in the road.
school,
It was
but
Lusk.
they would drive
Golly.
halfway, get out at Lusk, practice, have
Cookie was
Subway,
there.
have
Yeah,
Subway.
he knows what I'm talking
It was
about.
always Subway from Lusk.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
We had some Jimmy Johns here and there.
Yeah, so
hey, Jimmy John's, if you were living right.
that's right. So what are you going to do, Phil? What's the plan?
Yeah, we're gonna leave tomorrow morning. So we'll wheels up at 10:30, and by up I mean out,
Okay.
because we're not flying. We will stop in beautiful Hayes, America, and eat some Jimmy John's,
Okay.
and then we're gonna make our way to Independence, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City, and we'll get there tomorrow evening at some point, probably around 8:30 or so, and eat some dinner, and we'll wake up on Friday, eat some
Wednesday?
breakfast. Oh my gosh!
Wednesday?
You know what I meant.
I did.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just like,
Our Friday.
I'm getting
Yeah,
you back
exactly.
getting into Wednesday.
So we'll wake up on Wednesday,
Game Eve.
game eve. We'll eat some breakfast. We're gonna go to Lawrence, and we're gonna practice or do a walkthrough at KU's new
Oh, that's gonna
stadium.
be awesome.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
What tie there? How'd we get that?
Well, Dr. P hired Lance Leipold.
Oh, of course. That's right. There's the tie.
Yep.
The head coach at University of Kansas.
Yep. And so he made a call, and they're going to get us in there, and I'm excited about that. I know the guys are excited about that. Then we're going to go back to Independence, and I got a lot of guys from Texas, and Texas barbecue is a big deal. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to go to Gates in
Nice.
KC, and we're going to give them some authentic Kansas City barbecue. And
Yeah,
See,
remember
I'm
that. Where were we? Oklahoma
Oklahoma
Joe's.
Joe's
Yeah,
in
that's where we
Kansas
were at.
City is where we.
Yeah.
But it couldn't accommodate a football team.
well,
Yeah.
there's two places really, and you probably need to visit both. And one's is
Gates and the others.
then
is
Arthur Bryant's.
Arthur Bryant's.
Okay.
Those are
And
the two.
so
that
there's
you
the
need to go
two,
to.
and they were the ones that were recommended. But then we were told Oklahoma Joe's, it was in a gas station, and it's literally the best food I've ever had. I've been to Paris. I've been to Madrid. Oklahoma Joe's in Kansas City.
Are you taking
barbecue.
notes here, Ben? Okay, all right. Okay,
It's
all
that
right.
good.
Want some
It's
barbecue.
that good.
All right, so that's
But
good.
Independence is how far from Warrensburg?
About an hour.
Okay.
So we'll wake up on Thursday, which will be game day,
Game day.
and we'll be heading to Warrensburg. We'll do some walkthroughs and things of that nature in the morning. Eat our pregame meal. We've got a police escort that will take us from Independence to Warrensburg, and we'll,
Make sure you have Google
Buckle up.
Maps so they take you to the right place.
yeah, there's no doubt.
Not that they're nefarious in Kansas
Yeah,
or
okay.
Missouri, not that, but just make sure you go to the right direction.
Another question coming in. This is a touchy subject, but was there a kicking or a kickoff this week, or are we going to stay with Mr. Lyons?
Everything is a competition always, and
Okay.
you have to do your job, and that's from my position down to anyone, and every single week is a competition, and
Tells me you don't know yet.
who's
The
going to
final competition, probably for the kicking, might take place tomorrow or walkthrough or.
No,
know.
I mean we know.
Okay, all right.
We know.
Do they know?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
They know.
All right, so they don't have to worry about sweating bullets before a barbecue and not being able to eat.
Not one. I don't want to eat that. I don't know. My stomach.
Another question that came in, want to know about Roman Fuller. Was that one of the greatest quarterback performances you've ever seen, or if you've seen a better one, what was it?
Geez, that's a good question.
Chase was pretty good the year before.
Chan-
Roman was pretty good last year.
Chance had some
Chance
had some games that were pretty special. I mean, Roman last year against Western Colorado was a good year, or a good game.
Yes,
Me.
that was on the road in adversity too. I mean, that was in the belly of the beast.
Devin Larson last year against South Dakota Mines was pretty special.
What almost 400, 550
or something like that. I mean, he's just Roman has just gotten better and better and better, and I think, the more we can protect him, the more he's on the same page with his receivers, the better he's gotten. So he played fantastic last week. We need him for him to be that guy every week.
I guess when you be surprised is when he has a bad game.
Yeah, we don't
talk about that.
Well, he hasn't shown any signs. I mean, the guy just.
Yeah, I was going to ask Cookie
makes
about
the right
it.
decisions.
I think
it comes down to decision making.
That's exactly right. He processes really well. He has really great arm strength. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. He makes great decisions. And so
self-preservation.
Now he's a dual threat athlete.
Well, he thinks he is. I'm sure that was
scored 2
the most
rushing touchdowns.
And his one scramble was like a legit scramble. So I said, that's you won't see that very often.
Oh, we're seeing it every week.
Oh, here we go. But as a receiver, Cookie, have you've been around a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of good guys that could spin it. Roman seems just to have that confidence factor.
One thing that I would say that Roman has that, some of the quarterbacks that I've played with don't exactly have. They've had little flashes of it, but Roman is a very savvy quarterback. He's also a very savvy leader. And what Coach Behill had said, he's very precise with what he does. He's consistent with what he does, and that savviness that adds on to it just makes him just that much of an elite ball player. It's so much fun playing with him, and obviously I got to play with Chance Fuller too, so I get the best of both worlds.
Hey, we get a hug from
you
Chance.
taking?
We get a hug from Chance.
You're going into a game.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Win
let's
the
see.
game.
Yeah, who do you want?
Who you want?
Hey, remember, you're still playing.
I'm taking Roman.
There you
Oh,
go.
that is
gosh.
a smart.
And
Man,
Andrew Cook is
man.
running for office.
Yes, exactly. I like that.
No, hey, I'm telling you, it's fun to watch him spin it. And defensive backs, you guys play against him. You see what he throws the ball on where he wants to throw it.
Yes, sir. He does. His preparation is what is. You know what I'm saying? And I admire his preparation because how our locker room is formed out is the quarterbacks are kind of paired with the DBs in the locker room. So I get to talk to him every morning before practice. I get to see him after weights. And so I'm always constantly talking to him, and he's just a great guy. Just a great guy to be around outside of football, though. Not even just in football. He's a great quarterback on the field, but outside of football, he's a great man.
All right, we got Sister Susie checking in. Here's a sleeper at Fiorella Jack Stack Barbecue.
Okay.
Says that's the best. All right, Ben.
Hey, Ben approves.
Ben, we're going to go to Fiorella's Jack Stack, the Jack Stack BBQ. All right, let's move
We're going to
on.
be sitting on a roof somewhere, so we ain't in barbecue.
I think we had one other question, but
Don't slip.
Right? That's all I asked was it's safe. We're broadcasting your game from the roof.
Wow.
There you go.
Yes, from the
roof
roof.
of the stadium.
Yes.
Update on Reggie Retzlaff. I guess it'd be a game time decision. He kind of went out of the game, came back in the game, and it looked like you were more holding him out for precautionary reasons. It looked like in that second half.
I mean, he got a little banged up,
So we'll see.
Yeah, he's practiced a little bit this week, and so we're
All right. So we'll hold out hope that Reggie can play, and that's the injury update there. I guess pretty much coming out of that game, everything else pretty good. We noticed Patton went out, but he was just a little precautionary deal, and they had a lot of depth. You had guys ready to go full speed. He played 3/4 of sound football, and then sometimes you just got to go with a fresh hand, don't you, at running back?
Well, I mean,
the guys you're putting in
there's
are
no
not.
thing.
There's no slack.
There's no such thing as 100% healthy.
Yeah.
It's in season healthy, and that's just where we're at.
Okay.
So,
All right.
You'd like to be a little healthier for week 2 or 3, though. It feels like week 9 right now.
You know what matters? is getting healthy at the end of the year,
Right.
making sure you're on a roll,
Right.
and that's really what matters. And so we've got guys that are we were really banged up during camp too, and so there were a lot of guys that you go through camp, and you're like, golly, this is brutal, but
you got gamers. You can see them on game guys that had limited camps both in the spring and fall. When you turn on the lights, they're there and they're making plays.
well, we don't have gamers. I'm just telling you that there ain't nobody that shows up on Saturday that's not showing up.
No,
in
but you know what I mean. They're dinged up and you don't get to go full speed until the.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us was like it sucked going through that in fall camp and having so many guys banged up, but at the same time, it allowed a lot of guys to get a lot of reps that maybe wouldn't have.
Right.
And so it's paying off right now.
Right.
And to your point, it's paying off where those guys are when they get in the game, they're ready for it now because they've had those reps in practice and they've shown that they can do it in practice. And so, it's really just a next man up mentality. That's what it is. And we're going to play with the ones we got, and we're going to go out there and we're going to give our best.
All right, let's talk about the Central Missouri Mules. 0-1 to start the year. They had a tough assignment their first game, but they look like a mirror image almost of Fort Hays State. Very powerful. They got a running back named Tank.
Mm-hmm.
They got a quarterback not afraid to air it out. He put it up, 45 times, 30 of 45, 251 yards. So he's got weapons, so it's a dangerous team.
It's a very dangerous team. I mean, it's just like Fort Hays, it's going to be one of the top teams in the MIAA, coached by Josh Lamberson. And he just hired Rich Wright, who was the head coach at Northwest Missouri State. When I was there, he was the defensive coordinator. And he's the creator of the crunch front defense that you see Ferris State and Grand Valley and all these teams that stole from Northwest when he was there. And they're going to be running that on defense. Have a lot of respect for their staff and the way that they coach and their programs. And we're going to have our hands full. Offensively, they're going to play with a lot of tempo. They're going to spread it out. Their quarterback is extremely athletic. He's young. He's a redshirt freshman. I think some of you look at last game, that's his first start, and I think it showed a little bit. And I know he's going to be ready for us. I know he's going to be, playing at home, second start. He's going to feel comfortable back there. He's going to be ready to roll. They've got some playmakers on the edge. They got some guys that can go up and get the ball. Their tailbacks are very talented. You mentioned Tank. They got some guys that can really, take the top off and go. Defensively, they're very big. They're gonna two gap a lot of things up front and try to force everything to their outside backers, and their Mike makes them go. Athletic in the back end, they're a very good football team. They're in my opinion a top 10 caliber football team, and I think when the season's all said and done, that's where they'll end up. And so for us, it's a huge opportunity for us to go out there and play our brand of football, play to our standard, and not worry about the scoreboard, not worried about anything else, but playing to our standard every single play.
Well, Joe, I'm curious, what's the crunch front? Tell us what's the characteristic of the crunch front.
Yeah, so
I like the sound of it.
So really, you have four big guys up front that will play. Most of the time, in a normal front, you'll have an over and under front where you'll have a five tech, a 3 tech, a shade, and then another 5 tech. Well, on the crunch front, you have like 2 4 eyes and 2 eyes, or 2 5s and 2 1s. So essentially, what they're trying to do is they're trying to play 2 gaps with every defensive lineman, and then they're trying to get everything to spill to. It's essentially a 4-3. Their outside backers are going to apex the offensive formation. So if you have a tight end attached, that outside backer is going to come up and attach to the line of scrimmage. If you're in an open set, then he's going to apex, which means essentially split the difference between the offensive tackle and the number 2 wide receiver. And so they're really, really good at spilling. And what that means is they want everything from a run game standpoint to go lateral. They don't want any penetration. And so those big boys up front are doing everything in their power to 2 gap, meaning they can play the A gap or the B gap and try to get everything to spill to those backers that essentially won't have anybody blocking them. And so it's a difficult defense to attack, especially from a run game standpoint, because when you have big boys up front that can hold 2 gaps, it makes it hard. And so you got to be really creative in the run game. You got to be really creative in the pass game, because those outside backers really don't have a ton of pass responsibilities until they see that it's pass. They're all run until they see that it's not, and then they're going to get into the hook curl area and try to make a play. So I don't know if that answers your question.
That's the most in-depth answer to a question we've ever had since
Yeah,
2008. Thank you.
I'm going to be
That is
listening
easily
about.
the most in-depth answer about football analysis.
Yeah, I'm going to be
that
listening
we've
about 8
ever
times
had.
and looking up terms.
Yes, I was just going through my football dictionary that I spent 30 years. I don't have any of that.
Well,
But
we're gonna-
I love that. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
but
Makes us think.
you know what it tells me though? If you know how that works, you know how to attack it.
Well, I mean, we obviously saw it when I was there at Northwest.
Sure.
You know, when I was an assistant at Fort Hays, we played those guys every year, and then not only that, but you get practice at it. You know, when we played Ferris at some other previous stops, they ran it. Grand Valley ran it. You know, and so you get some teams that run it here and there, and so you get. It's not the same. I'll just be honest. Like Rich Wright, I have a ton of respect for him as a football coach, and wherever he is, there were times when we were at Northwest, like they had like there was an entire year where they didn't allow a rushing touchdown.
Wow.
Didn't allow a rushing touchdown.
Yeah,
there was like a 44 or 45 game streak without a 100-yard rusher, without allowing a 100-yard rusher. I mean, he's very good at what he does.
So they make you try and make you one-dimensional, period.
They are going to stop the run.
Yeah.
So you got to be almost committed to it occasionally.
Oh,
Now you say they're trying to occupy 2 guys. Do you get bigger line splits in your offensive line, or how do you combat that?
Well, I mean, you try to have great. You got to try to find great angles, and you got to try to find and open gaps. And so whether that's through combos, whether that's through inserting a tight end, whether that's through whatever you need to do offensive, but you're trying to create extra gaps so you can puncture it really, because nobody wants to go laterally in a run game.
And nobody wants to run laterally against you guys.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody can really run east to west against you
Correct.
guys. So that's plus your speed. I'm sure their speed is.
They're fast.
Yeah.
And offensively, what are they going to do to challenge your defense? What's going to be the challenge stopping them? It looks like they got, like I said, they got the tank, but they also threw it up 45 times. Now the score might have dictated that. What do you see, like a balanced attack, or
last year
they just go with what they're going to go with?
Yeah, so they've got a new coordinator on both sides. They got a new offense coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. Last year, they were first or second in MIAA in scoring. They averaged just under 40 points a game. They had the back-to-back Harlan Hill Trophy winner at Zabrowski and their quarterback. They want to throw the ball around, and they want to play fast. And so you're going to see extremely wide splits. You're going to see clusters. You're going to see stacks. You're going to see a lot of things to try to spread out the defense to create space. One of the hardest things to do in football is tackle in space. It's the same principle that we have offensively. And so that's why we have wide splits and why we do stacks and we do all this stuff, because we really feel like we're better in space than most people. And so we want to get you in space, and that's exactly what they want to do offensively. And they're good at it.
Well, it sounds like a kind of game might be wide open, or you just don't know when you go into a game. You look at it, like, did your gut tell you a lot of points, or just go in and just see how it develops?
I don't care how many points we score or don't score. I just want to
one
come
more.
out with a win.
One
That's
more
exactly
than
right.
that.
It doesn't matter to me. So
what I'm trying to find out, Phil, is the over or the under.
Yeah, I couldn't give it to you.
Yeah.
Not
Jim,
helping out the gambler.
this is week 3 now, Coach's Show, and he's giving you nothing when it comes to schemes and.
What were you asking last week?
Yeah,
that you
same
kept-
stuff.
know,
He kept
I
trying
know.
to.
I
I mean,
went
this is
home
week-
and
this-
cried because
This is
I
week
was so
3
bad.
that he's giving you nothing.
So bad.
And
it
for
was.
all our listeners in Central Missouri, we're giving you nothing because I know you're
Exactly.
listening or watching. So we're looking forward to it. Not looking forward to being on the roof, but what are you going to do? So we'll cross
right.
that bridge when we get there.
I'm looking for a push then. I
Yeah.
don't even know what the over-under is, so we'll just go for a push, and we got to be.
You just should not bet sports.
I know, but I got a problem.
Yeah, well, call 1-800.
gosh.
Call
Hey, can we get
1-800.
one of those numbers, please?
Yeah.
I got a problem.
Golly.
All right, we'll have the ball game for you on. Any final words? You guys got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I got one.
Go ahead,
final
Cookie.
word.
Closer.
I just want to say shout out to Chance Fuller. I still love you.
No, Chance,
Thank
he
you, Chance. You've given me so many great memorable moments. So
Here's
Yeah.
the issue that you didn't think about is Chance coaches Roman.
That's right.
And he's going to tell him exactly where to throw that thing.
shout out to the Fullers.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
There's the politically correct Andrew Cook.
All right. Did you tick anybody off tonight? I don't think so.
Shout out, John.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out, John.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we heard about that last week, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard about shout out John last week. So
Shout
you know,
out
we
John.
didn't use it on the air last week, but we might have to this week.
All right, we'll
Because he's
have
a
the
Pueblo kid.
Yeah, we'll have the ball game for you on Thursday night. I almost said Saturday, Phil. See, you got to remember which night we're playing. It's a 5:30 pregame show, 6 o'clock kickoff here in Pueblo. We know it's 7 o'clock there. Remember, it's 7 Central
sir.
Time Zone. All right, you got that. 7:00, probably 7:05. I
Right,
imagine
it's
they're in
7.
the same.
They don't have issues with people logging on late, so they go on the dot.
All right. So
Oh.
That wasn't a shot at us.
No,
that's
no,
an RMAC
no.
deal.
Yeah,
That's an
yeah,
RMAC
yeah,
thing.
Yeah, an RMAC deal. That's right. All right. So 5:30 pregame show, 6 o'clock on the radio on Fox Sports Pueblo. Hope you can join. Joe and I, Joe, here we're on the roof.
We're on the roof.
I just say, paybacks are that. I've already told Ben, I go, they're coming here next year, right?
As a wise man once said, from the windows of the wall,
Yeah, so next year Central Missouri will be in the back by the band in the end zone. Just kidding, Central Missouri. Take care of us when we get there. We have some fun. You find out that I'm kind of a jokester. All right, 5:30, 6 o'clock for the kickoff. Special thanks to ThunderZone Pizza and Tap House, Ryan Howard, and the entire crew here. We also thank Colorado Front Range Roofing, as well as Rustler Implement for sponsoring the show. All right, Peyton Shaw, for Andrew Cook, for Joe Cervi, for the coach Phil Vigil. I'm Jim Brooks for Ben Greenberg.
Yeah, Ben.
Paul Plinsky, the athletic director. Aaron Kinnischtzke, our producer and engineer tonight. Special thanks to the fans as well. Good night, everybody.